If you study the topic of taking offense, you realize that people are like tuning forks that are ready to vibrate with indignation. The moment that something rattles them and we tune away. That's me. I'm all upset again because I've been wronged and offended. We find that we're incessantly calculating whether we get what we believe is due to us or whether we're being sold short all the time. It is not the way to live. We believe that we've been wronged. We believe that we are the center of our universe. And we believe that everything should go our way. Now, let me risk something seriously here. Because some of you right now, even as I'm speaking, will believe that I'm saying this because I'm having a go at you. Those lies, those baits that are in the heart, will be speaking that to you right now. But you need to know, none of that is in my heart. I have no idea where you're at and what offenses you're carrying and all that sort of stuff. I'm not interested at one level. But for some of you, already, you'll be nailing things on that say, he's only saying that because of me. He's only saying that because he knows what's going on in my world. I have no idea. So let's choose not to listen. Let's not listen to that stuff that comes in and tries to reinforce and nail that stuff onto our world, and to respond in a way that says, I'm going to deal with it differently. I'm going to do something else with this stuff. Are you with me? Yeah. I heard a comedian once, a lady, who came on stage and she was offended with everybody. She was upset with men, she was upset with women, she was upset with the government and the police and the anarchists and the atheists and the Christians and the Jews. She was upset with everybody. And in the middle of it all, she said this. She said, it's a good job I don't own a gun, because if I did, I would shoot everybody. The reason being, she was upset with everybody. She had an issue with everybody. She had an issue with all sorts of stuff. And you know, sometimes we're so armed with a response that wants to point the finger and shoot and say, you did this to me and you did that to me and so on, that we end up killing our relationships. But without our relationships, we have nothing. Without recognizing that you and I are genuinely the body of Christ, we have nothing. Without understanding that we are united in him, and it is our duty, if you will, to keep and maintain that unity that God has given us, then we have nothing. The church is important, and the church is founded in what God has done in making us one. I need you. You need me. You need the person sitting next to you. You need the person who hurt you or offended you. You need the person who loves you and is compassionate with you. You need the one who you consider a friend and one who feels distant. We need one another because we are the body of Christ. We are united, one in him. Oversensitivity can seriously affect your health. And I believe also can seriously affect your success in life. Over the years, I've worked with people who just can't get on at work. And then you look at how they react in different situations, and it's not a surprise that they can't get on at work, because their reactions are just, they're generating all sorts of responses from people. I remember some years ago, I was about 14, I guess, and I love gymnastics and stuff that I was doing at the time. I did a lot of water sports as well. You wouldn't believe it right now, but I used to be quite a gymnast. I used to do trampoline work. Some of you saw me on a trampoline recently. I was much better then than I am now. I was a lot lighter then as well. But I remember doing, I forget what it was called, but it was like 4 levels of gymnastic sort of tests and so on. And you got badges that you could stitch on your shorts, you know, that I've done level 1, I'm up to level 4, you know, and I'm really good at this. And so we did all these gymnastics. And I remember this particular level I'd done, I worked really hard to make sure that I got everything right. I got every single requirement within this particular series of tests absolutely spot on. And I'd gone into the gym teacher's office one day, and because you had to pay for it as well, you had to pay for the badge. And it was like 30 pence or whatever it was. I got to pay for the badge. And I remember going in and paying for the badge. And he made a note on a piece of paper that I had paid the money for the badge. And then towards the end of term, it was prize giving. And of course, they invited all the people who had won an award for the gymnastics to stand at the front of the assembly. And there were probably 40 or 50 of us standing there. And they went through the alphabet. And they called off each name of the people who had won the badges. And I stood there and we got to L and I thought, I'm next. I'm next, I'm next. And then they went to N. I thought, oh, they just missed me. And then they went on, and there's a guy standing beside me. He said, hey, you know what? I haven't even paid. And he got to his name, and he got his badge. And I was left standing on my own in front of the whole school, standing there like a numpty. Here I am. I have won the prize. I've paid the money, and I haven't got the badge. You know, I hated that teacher. I couldn't stand the sight of him. I wanted to kill him. He'd embarrassed me in front of the whole school. I was working out, you know, what can I do to his car? Could I rig a bomb? You know, that when he turns that, you know, I needed to have I was going to kill this guy. It was just the end of the world for me. He had completely ruined my world as far as I was concerned. People were laughing at me, mocking at me. There's McMahon, out there, you know. He thought he got it, but he hadn't. And, you know, for probably several years, I had a real issue with teachers who, for whatever reason, didn't listen carefully enough to what I thought I was saying. I had an issue, such an issue, that it caused a real conflict with one teacher when I was in my 6th year. And I really did want to kill him. But when I look back on it, it was rooted in that event. It was rooted in an offense that I nailed to my world. And then every face that came by that had the potential to create that offense, I'll nail it to them as well. You're a teacher. You are responsible for the offense in my world. It's a dangerous place to live because it affects all of our relationships. You with me? Jesus said this. We call it the golden rule. He says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, whether you have been a Christian for 40 years or you're not yet a Christian, you've probably heard that somewhere. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. However, I have to say that a recurring source of offense is that whilst we can easily live with the fact that we fall short in doing unto others, we often find it intolerable when people are not doing unto us. You know, we're happy to give ourselves grace and space, but when people don't live towards us the way that we expect, the way that we would like, the way that we'd like them to interact with us or relate to us or whatever, we find it intolerable. I believe humans have the superb ability to evaluate the defects in everyone else, but we're blind to our own flaws. And much of our offense flows out of that. Jesus put it this way. He said, take the plank out of your own eye. Take the plank out of your own eye before you go and fish for the speck in somebody else's. And when we choose to live like that, it shifts our view of what is coming at us and what is being potentially nailed into our world. The trouble is that we think our perception of events is the objective truth, while everyone else's version is deluded by self-interest. And once we're angry and irritated, we become prosecutors, and our reasoning gets hijacked by our need to build our own case.